Today we have a problem where we are given that x is equal to the square root of x minus 1 over x plus the square root of 1 minus 1 over x. And what we need to do is solve what x is. The first thing we need to do is get rid of these square roots on the right hand side, and we can do that by applying the a plus b times a minus b formula. So on the left hand side, it's going to be x times this minus that. So it's going to be times the square root of x minus 1 over x minus the square root of 1 minus 1 over x. And this is just equal to, since we got rid of the square roots, we see that these 1 over x's cancel out. So this is just x minus 1. We can set like variables here for substitution to make it easier to read. Let's let a be equal to the square root of x minus 1 over x minus the square root of 1 minus 1 over x. Now let's substitute a in for this. So x times a is equal to x minus 1. So from this, we get that x is equal to x minus 1 over a. And we also get that a is equal to x minus 1 over x. Now we notice something. On a is the square root of x minus 1 over x plus the square root of 1 minus 1 over x. And a is equal to the square root of x minus 1 over x minus the square root of 1 minus 1 over x. So when we add these two, a and x, we can cross out a term. So x plus a is equal to the square root of x minus 1 over x plus the square root of 1 minus 1 over x. That's 1, sorry. This is going to be plus the square root of x minus 1 over x minus the square root of 1 minus 1 over x. We see that these two terms cancel out. We also know that a is x minus 1 over x. So instead of x plus a, it's x plus x minus 1 over x. And this is just equal to 2 times the square root of x minus 1 over x. We have to do more substitution here to make this more clear. So let's let b be equal to x minus 1 over x. Well, this is just x plus x over x is 1. So 1 minus 1 over x. And we see that this can be arranged as a b. And this is equal to 2 times the square root of b. This side, we have the x and the negative 1 over x. So this is just b plus 1. So b plus 1 is equal to 2 times the square root of b. So to get rid of the square root, we square both sides. And according to this equation, we get that b squared plus 2b plus 1 is equal to 4b. So we now have it in terms of b here. Now that we found out this equation, we have to make one side equal to 0, and we can do that by subtracting 4b from both sides. So b squared minus 2b plus 1 is equal to 0, and we see that this is an algebraic equation. So now we can rewrite this as b minus 1 squared is equal to 0. And from this, we know that b is now equal to 1, which is also equal to since we let b be equal to x minus 1 over x, this is going to be x minus 1 over x. We see a problem here. There's an x on the bottom, but one way to get rid of it is by multiplying both sides by x. And once you do that, and once you just solve it essentially, your new equation is going to be x squared minus x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now we apply the quadratic formula right here. So we now know that x is equal to, negative b. So it's the first thing is negative b, and this is negative 1. So the negative of a negative 1 is positive 1. So positive 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 1 squared, or 1. This is just plus 4, since there's a negative there, square root, over 2a, or 2. So now we can rewrite it as x is equal to 1 plus or minus the square root of 5 divided by 2. There are actually not two answers to this problem, but only one, where it's 1 plus the square root of 5. Because if it was 1 minus the square root of 5, that value would be less than 0, making it not make sense. So our only answer for x is equal to 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2.